The family Chantel is finally back. Guys, what is up? Max here, the Celeb Talk guy, and yes, on October 12th, I believe the family Chantel Season 2 is coming back to TLC, and oh my god, from the previews and sneak peeks I have seen, we are going to be in for an unbelievable season. Now, I know a lot of you guys might not be the biggest fans of Chantel and Pedro and both of their families, but this season it really seems like a lot of the drama is a lot less about Chantel and Pedro and just more on their family drama, which surprisingly, it looks really real. So with Chantel and Pedro, really quick, there doesn't appear to be much drama, which I am thankful for because I am sick and tired of hearing them fighting and hearing the two families fighting. I was tired of that. But that is why this season looks so good, because all of the drama really just seems to be with their extended families. So in this season, we're really going to see a lot with number one, Chantel's older brother, Royal, who I vaguely heard of in the past season and on 90 Day Fiance. I saw online that I guess, Chantel's other brother, River, mentioned the fact that he was dating and he was seeing someone, but Royal, Chantel's brother, ended up meeting a woman named Jeanette, which I just love that name. I think that name is so funny. But anyway, he met this woman who, hey, I'll try to put a picture up of them right there. He is a good enough looking guy. He's definitely not ugly, but he's a pretty average, good looking guy. And Jeanette, she is from the Philippines, and she is definitely pretty. So some might say she's a hair, prettier than him, but either way, they are together, and it appears that they have gotten married. Now, I believe that Jeanette and Royal are going back to the Philippines to get married, so I don't know if she came here, then they got married in the US, or what the actual arrangement is, but I'm like 99% confident that Royal and Jeanette are already married. But their relationship started by her reaching out to him. Key thing to remember, she hit him up on Facebook, and then one thing led to another, and then of course, obviously, Chantel and Pedro, and even kind of honestly Chantel's mom, and the entire family for that matter, where they were all kind of concerned because, like I said earlier, this Royal guy's a pretty good looking guy, but, this Jeanette lady, she's pretty cute, she's attractive. So I think their family definitely has their, serious concerns on if Jeanette is just using Royal to come over to America. But as far as I'm concerned, they already got married, and so I think it's kind of late to have the concern. I don't know why they're so upset and concerned, because number one, if they are already married, well, hey, it's too late. And number two, Chantel did the exact same thing. So if there's one person in this entire family that should be, understanding maybe, it should be Chantel. So Chantel and Pedro and the whole family, they are concerned about Royal and Jeanette. And then, it sounds like Royal and Jeanette and the entire family are going to go over to the Philippines for their wedding. So more on them in a couple of seconds. But now I want to, go over to Pedro's side of the family, because we all remember Pedro's sister Nicole and Pedro's mom, who absolutely hated Chantel and Chantel's mom. They did not get along whatsoever. They were constantly fighting. And honestly, I feel like Pedro's sister kind of crossed the line. To be completely honest with you guys, I feel like everyone in this family just at times crossed lines and said things that they probably shouldn't have said. But I feel like Nicole, Pedro's sister, she crossed that line a lot. At least, I don't know. They always were constantly fighting and complaining and saying this and that and saying rude stuff. But now, Nicole is back, and this time she is with a new man. I am so excited to see this because she met a man on social media named Alejandro, and it appears that Alejandro, he definitely lives in New York now, but it really appears that he's actually from the Dominican Republic as well, but he's been living in New York, living in the States for quite some time, and I'm so excited. So I believe that Alejandro and Nicole have met several times. That is just what I believe, because I have seen images and whatnot on soapdirt.com. So hey, we have to give a round of applause for Soap Dirt. I love them dearly. And they shared a couple images of Nicole and Alejandro together, and it really kind of looked like and sounded like they have met a handful of times before Alejandro officially came over to the Dominican Republic. So I'm not totally sure on the exact timestamps, but what appeared to happen was Nicole and Alejandro, they met on on social media. Then I think that they met in person a few times. I don't know if she came to New York or if he went to the Dominican Republic. He likely went to the Dominican Republic though. And then, in between that, I believe what happened was when Alejandro was still in the States, I believe he ended up meeting up with Chantel and Pedro. So I don't know if that happened before or after he went back to the Dominican Republic again, because he ended up going back to the Dominican Republic again, and in that trip he ended up meeting Nicole's mom. So there's all these different meetups, but either way, it sounds like he met Nicole in person, then he might have met Pedro, then he went back to the Dominican Republic, and I believe he met Nicole's mom. So, him and Nicole, they look great. They look happy. I don't really have any too big of concerns besides the fact that maybe for Alejandro that, hey, Nicole, she's a little vocal, a little crazy, but that's, for Alejandro's concern. But Alejandro seems nice, seems cool, seems calm, not any really big red flags. However, when Pedro met him, we did get to see a sneak peek, and Pedro did not look happy. Now, of course, Pedro is Nicole's older brother, so obviously he's gonna be all tough and mighty and mean and scary. I get it. But on the other hand, I don't know what he was so concerned and upset about. He told Alejandro that, oh my God, like he was really surprised by something that Alejandro said, and that just tells me one thing. What probably happened, I don't know for sure, but what probably happened was Pedro probably asked Alejandro, where are you at in your relationship with my sister? Are you guys serious? Are you exclusive? Are you talking about getting married? Things like that. Where are you guys at? And I bet Alejandro probably just said, I love her, I want to marry her. And then Pedro was probably like, oh my God, I'm completely surprised. I did not know that. So that is probably what went down, because it just kind of sounds like because Nicole, hasn't introduced Alejandro to her mom just yet up to that point, and because she's kind of been keeping him on the down low, it sounds like she's been kind of trying to just keep the relationship a little bit more quiet and not some big deal. But then when Pedro met Alejandro, I wouldn't be shocked if he was like, I love her, I want to marry her, and I'm really into her. And then Pedro's probably just like, well, I never even heard of you, I just met you. So that is probably what went down, because then after, Alejandro and Pedro met, it appears that Pedro calls Nicole his sister. I know, I'm sorry, there's so many different moving parts, but it sounds like, Pedro called Nicole his sister and just said, hey, you are a liar, you lied to me about this, that, and the other. So likely Nicole probably told Pedro that, hey, I'm casually dating this new guy named Alejandro. He lives in New York. It's casual. It's nothing too serious. And then maybe when Alejandro and Pedro met, Alejandro said this, that, and the other, that I love her and I want to marry her. And then maybe that kind of threw off Pedro. So I have no idea. I haven't heard a spoiler just yet, but that is what my gut is telling me. And usually with these shows, I usually have a pretty good gut feeling. But anyway, it sounds like after that, Alejandro jumps on a plane, he goes on a flight to the Dominican Republic, and he meets Nicole's mom, who we all remember, she's very explosive, very verbal, and when she meets Alejandro, you can only imagine what would she, say to this guy, because he is charming. Well, let me just say, he appears to be charming. Maybe in real life he's rude and snarky and who knows, but he appears on the surface to just be a pretty calm, casual, normal guy. But when Nicole and Pedro's mom met Alejandro, she grabbed his suitcase and threw it out her door and said, get out of here right now. You are not the man for my daughter. So, whoa, I don't know what he said, what he did. I don't know what happened. If I had to guess, what I could only imagine happened is, Nicole probably kind of threw her mom off guard when she said that, hey, I'm in a relationship with this man named Alejandro from New York, and he's gonna come visit. That probably threw her mom off guard. I don't know how old Nicole is, so if she's a little bit younger, like 19 or 20, maybe the mom was concerned about that too, but likely, we already know the mom has a short fuse, she has a temper, so what probably happened was Nicole just came in with Alejandro and said, this is my new boyfriend, and I can almost guarantee you guys, just from my past experience with their mom, well, she probably just saw the guy and said, oh, I don't like him, I'm done with him, I have no interest in him, and I don't want you dating him. Because I don't know about you guys, but it seems like Pedro and Nicole's mom has a temper like that, where when she doesn't like someone, that's it, zoop, nothing, done. You know, she is not having it. So I have a hunch that she met Alejandro, he went out, shook her hand, you know, gave her a hug, and she just looked at him and said, I don't like you. So that's what I'm going to speculate. We're going to have to wait and see. Maybe Alejandro says something, maybe he does something, maybe something goes down, but it really just appears that Alejandro and the mom meet, and about 5 seconds later, she's grabbing his suitcase and throwing it out the door. And then we have to circle back before I sign off in this video with Royal and Ann Jeanette, who, I'm sorry, if your name is Ann Jeanette, I'm not making fun of the name. I just think the name Ann Jeanette, because it's like Angela and Annette and it's combined. It's just kind of a funny name, but I'm not making fun of it. I just think it's kind of funny and charming and hilarious. But anyway, when Royal and Ann Jeanette, they go back to the Philippines, and so does the entire family Chantel. So there is a ton of drama that appears to go down when Ann Jeanette and Royal and Chantel and her family are in the Philippines. However, I just have been seeing little cliffhangers. So I keep seeing all these cliffhangers released by TLC and 90 Day Fiance and the whole show, but it's like, you know, they'll be fighting. And like there's this one clip of the entire family, River and Royal and Pedro and Chantel, and they're all fighting and there's people in the middle, but I can't figure out who's on whose side and what is this fight about and what is really going on. So I did see that Chantel told off Ann Jeanette like 200 separate times when she was in the Philippines. Like she literally told Ann Jeanette to stay here in the Philippines and to leave her brother alone. So, you know, Chantel is just completely hooked on this idea that Ann Jeanette is using her brother to come to America for his money, for this and that. And I mean, maybe, but Ann Jeanette, she's attractive, but she's not drop dead stunningly gorgeous. Like she's a pretty normal looking girl. Royal, pretty normal looking guy. So does she just want to use him to come to America? Maybe, but I feel like if there's one person, and I always say this, but if there's one person that should be understanding and accepting, it is Pedro and Chantel. So little bit hypocritical for Chantel to be so worked up and so mad with Ann Jeanette, because it's like she was pretty much in her exact same shoes. But hey, before we start judging and, you know, throwing around comments, I suppose there could possibly be more to the story that we just have to wait and see. So guys, the family Chantel, if you missed season 1, and if you are newer-ish to our 90 Day Fiance family, here's me giving you a hug if you can't see. Family Chantel, it is a phenomenal show. Season 1 was averagely good. They're constantly fighting. It's going to be a good season. It's similar to the Darcy and Stacey show where you kind of can't help but watch it. I feel like it's going to be like that. And honestly, it'll probably be a hair bit better than the Darcy and Stacey show because there's more people, more drama, more real drama. I think it's going to be a heck of a lot more interesting, but hey, I've been wrong before and I could be wrong again. So we're going to have to wait and see. But the family Chantel, it is airing on TLC, I want to say on October 12th. So if I'm wrong, please excuse me, but I believe on October 12th. And that would be a Monday night, this upcoming Monday night. So I believe that is the correct date. If I'm wrong, please excuse me. But guys, make sure if you are going to watch the family Chantel, I hope I could introduce the family and kind of talk about the new season as far as I know. You know, for you guys, hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found this entertaining. Hope maybe even educational. I don't know why it would be educational, but maybe even educational for some. So if you guys did enjoy this video, it would mean the absolute world to me if you tap that like button, if you commented below your thoughts, because I am really curious what you guys think of Chantel and her family. I know a lot of you guys, you can't stand Chantel, you can't stand Pedro, but do any of you guys like her? I feel like, you know, they're kind of like Darcy and Stacey, where everyone just can't help but watch it, but no one really likes them. Am I right? Am I wrong? Put in the comments below. Well, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be seeing you guys right back here very soon.